So last session, we have talked about enterprise structure, ESI model. Enterprise structure configurator. So what is the business flow of enterprise structure? First, we have to define the enterprise. Nothing but a name of the company. Name of the company. We don't mention any setups over here. We'll just give the enterprise name and the legal information of the enterprise. For example, if you want to start one enterprise business, obviously you have to apply for the government of India. If you want to start in India, and you have to give your legal address, and you will receive legal identification details like PAN number, TIN number, service tax number, registration, ROC registration number. Then you will go with the business. So that details will be entered in the enterprise. We don't do enter much information after that. Then after that, we'll go for yes. Seems somebody is not on mute. Please keep it on mute. Yes, Izil. Someone is not on mute. Please keep it on mute. Thank you. Okay. So after enterprise, we'll go with the divisions. We'll go with the divisions, then legal entities, then business units, reference data set, and departments. Reference data set contains only information. It is not a branch. It is not an organization. It is having some information. Why we required here is this information you can share across your business units. Across your business units. Okay. Fine. This structure I'm going to implement now in the Fusion applications. Okay. If you have any doubts, please text and chat window so that I can give the clarification. Still you are not clear, then we can come up with the voice. Okay. Now go to user menu, go to the task called setup and maintenance. Go to the task called setup and maintenance. When we go to setup and maintenance, you will come to know what are the offerings you are subscribed right now. Offerings are nothing but the domains. What are in this instance we have subscribed for all. When I say all, it includes financials, procurement, sales, HCM, human capital management. We have already discussed human capital management is a combination of three: workforce deployment, workforce development, and the compensation. And the compensation management. In the alphabetical order, C means it comes in the starting level, right? So that's why we are here. Go to implementation project. Which implementation project we have created last time? GE, right? Starting letter as GE, and click for search. I'm not able to see my implementation project because sometimes Oracle will do the refresh. They'll refresh the database. Okay, it may be every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So don't worry that you might have missed your implementation project or your setups. Again, you have to create. Again, we have to create the things. It happens every 2 weeks. Somewhere somebody has mentioned admin. Yeah, tell me admin something name. If you enter your name so that I can. So I'm going to say G implementation project. And who is the user has created this implementation project? That yes, Sherry, it's a second class. You have to update your name, your number with Naresh so that he will be in touch with you through WhatsApp if there are any sessions. Suresh, you are not able to hear me. I hope everybody is able to hear me, Suresh. Yeah, fine. So I given the code as something G implementation project and give the next button. And we are going to group our offerings. So what is implementation project? Group of offerings and features. Group of offerings and features. So financial functional consultant will create their own implementation project. HCM people, we will create our own implementation project. Okay. So like that, we can create our own implementation project. So here workforce deployment, that's offering. In that, I'm going to choose payroll, options management. Anyway, this last session we have discussed. That's why I'm going a little bit faster. Okay. Success and talent management. Save and open the project. So it will be directly saved and open. So now we have created our implementation project. Okay. So now we want to implement this enterprise structure. We want to implement this enterprise structure. If we start any business in any business application, first structure has to be created. So what is the task name? Establish enterprise structure. In Fusion applications, it's very difficult to remember the navigation path. We can't remember. It's difficult. Instead of remembering the navigation, better to remember the task. Initially, it looks like difficult how many tasks I can remember, but once we start practicing, when I say I want to create a location, okay, go to manage locations. I want to create an employee, go to manage employee. Like that, you will get automatically. You will get an understanding. Okay, fine. Now, if I search for this task, establish enterprise. Now, what system is telling us? It's going to show us there are two tasks. Establish enterprise structures is there in workforce development as well as in the workforce deployment. This all global HR tasks will be available in both development as well as deployment. That's why 2 times it is showing task name. Task name we are getting 2 times. Why we are getting 2 times is all global HR tasks will be available in both workforce development as well as in workforce deployment. Okay, that's a reason we have. But if you select any task, both are same. There is nothing difference. If we choose any task, the internal task is same. Okay, and I want to know what is the path. There is option show hierarchy. It will show you what is the hierarchy. It will show us what is the hierarchy. And go to the task, establish enterprise structures. Now click this option, go to task. Go to task. Now here we can see already someone has created enterprise structure. 4 enterprise structures are already created. Now we want to create our own structure. We would like to create our own structure. Create. Now system is going to ask us what is your enterprise name. Now what we decided, we would like to have our own structure name as something GE Corporation, right? GE Corp is the structure name. We would like to have it. Description, enter. So now system is going to tell that this is what the enterprise name. You got something default AV1 ENTP. I'll tell you later why we got default this. So let me enter the enterprise name, short name, primary industry. So what exactly this client is doing? Healthcare and social assistance, for example. And headquarters, where they are headquartered. Let's say they are headquarters in India. Headquartered in India. And what about the legal information? Legally, where they have registered and what is the legal company name and legal entity identifier number. This all details will be given by the client. There is nothing we can do setup here. whatever the details are given by the client, we need to do the entry. Okay. So now what is the legal address? Legal address, let's say it's there in Hyderabad. Pin code. Telangana state. Press OK. Now the legal address has created successfully. And now system is going to tell us that you have provided enough information to configure simple enterprise. Simple enterprise we have configured with single legal entity and single country. Where you have entered legal entity? Here. Legal information is nothing but a legal entity. And where you entered your enterprise information? Here only one country. One country. If you say your client requirement is only this, just one enterprise and one legal entity, this information is enough. This information is enough. But continue with the interview to set up more legal entities. Depends on your requirement. If we have multiple legal entities, so you want to go for that, then we will go for, let's say in our example, how many legal entities we required? 4 legal entities. 2 legal entities India, 2 legal entities for US. Okay. So we would like to have 4 legal entities. So that's the thing. I'm going to say continue with the interview to set up more legal entities. What is mean by interview? Interview is nothing but this model. Most of the fusion applications tasks will be in the interview model. When you are performing some transaction, you will be very clear what exactly you have to do next and what is the business flow. And you can use the click next button and back button. Meanwhile, when you are doing the transaction, if you want to do commit, you can go for save. And after completion of all the transactions, finally you can go for submit. Okay. Complete the setup for single legal entity in a single country. So if you say this one, no question of interview model. When you are looking for multiple legal entities setup, then you have to choose. But in the real time, most of the clients will have definitely multiple legal entities. Single legal entity is very rare case. Okay. Small clients can have it. Okay. Fine. So once we enter the enterprise information, next after enterprise, what we have? Divisions, then legal entities, then business units, then reference data sets, then manage business unit, reference data set, and manage locations. Whatever the flow I have explained here, everything is there except department. Department is not here. Here, all this can be done. Fine. Click next button. Now, how many divisions you required? Create. So we require 2 divisions, India and US. G, India. Country, India. And what about location? Already we created one location, Hyderabad. Let's select. And I'm going for creating one more. Country, United States. Create location. Hello? Fine. So we'll enter the location details here. I have entered Los Angeles and select the location. So 2 divisions we have created. After 1 year or 2 years, the client want to have one more division. Yes, they can create. It's not a problem. Okay. Next. After creating the divisions, then what is the next organization? Legal entities. When we try to create a legal entities, what system is telling us already one legal entity is available. How it is available? While creating the enterprise, in the first step, you entered legal information. That is what your ultimate holding company. That's what your legal entity, ultimate holding company. Okay. So there generally we don't do any business, but that will be used to group all your company legal details, to group all your company legal entity details. Okay. So that ultimate holding company cannot be deleted. So whatever that legal entity is there, that cannot be deleted. Whatever new things you are going to create, means new legal entities you are going to create, that can be deleted anytime. That can be deleted anytime. And there is a 2 options. You want to create legal entities manually, or you want to go for creation of legal entities automatically. When I select generate automatically, now the system is going to tell us there are 2 divisions. Okay, there are 2 divisions. You want to go for creation of that based on GE Corporation is an enterprise, GE US is one of the division, India is one of the division. Now, if you say I don't want to go for automatically, I want to create manually, then simple. Create which country? India. Which division? India division. So this all details will be given by the client, legal entity, reporting unit, all this. Just we have to choose the legal address. We have to choose the legal address. I have created one legal entity for India division called Hyderabad. If you want to create new location, it can be created. These all are mandatory fields. We must fill the details. Press OK. After creating the location, then select. Next, one more legal entity in India only. That is for Bangalore, right? That's we would like to have for Bangalore. So country is India. Division, India division. Legal address. Bangalore address I'm going to create. Create this. Okay. So after creating the legal entities in India, then 2 more legal entities are required for US. I'm going for only one legal entity. Now you are clear, right? How to create the legal entities. Number of legal entities we can create. United States, GE, US, Los Angeles, and division as US. And what about the legal address? Like this, number of legal entities, whatever is required for the client, that will create. Meanwhile, you can click the save button also during the transaction so that your changes will be saved. Now, if we look at here, all these legal entities, whatever we created, it can be deleted at any point of time. But the ultimate holding company, that is for reporting purpose. Whatever the legal details you've done in all these legal entities, you can group it. at enterprise level. That is for reporting purpose only. It cannot be deleted. It cannot be deleted. This is how we will go for manage legal entities. Nothing but a create legal entities. Yes, the difference between main legal entity and sub-legal entity, it's very simple. Admin, for example, Hyderabad is a legal entity, Bangalore is a legal entity. Here you can see Hyderabad business data. Here is Bangalore, and here is California, and here is Los Angeles. By top of the company, I wanted to know all the legal business details. Then where you will report, you have to report at what level? Enterprise level. So there you will find the top level legal entity. There we will find the top level legal entity. So that's nothing but the ultimate holding company, which will combine all these 4 legal entity information for reporting purpose. Okay. So here you can just go for only reporting point of view. We don't find any hiring option or any salaries. These all are individual legal entities, and all these legal entities will be grouped at the top level.
Okay, sir. Got it.
That is your ultimate holding company. That's next. Business units. After legal entities, after creating the enterprise divisions, legal entities, what is the next step? Business units. Now system is going to ask us, you want to create business units automatically based on the country or based on the division or based on the legal entity or based on the functioning. Okay. So if you want to do that, you can do. Let me go with legal entity. If you want to go for manual, we can do it manually also, no problem. First, we will go for automatic, and I'll show you manually also. So what we have selected is, I would like to create the business unit automatically as per the legal entity level. How many legal entities we have? 4 legal entities are there. So I would like to create only for these 3 legal entities business unit. I don't have any business unit for this legal entity. That is just for reporting purpose I have created at enterprise level. Okay. So now 3 legal entities are there. For 3 legal entities, I want to have 3 business units. That's what automatic option. Click next button. This is create business units. Yes, business units are created. This is what your business unit name, and this is what your business unit code, and these are the corresponding legal entities. Okay. Now the client wanted to have 2 more business units additionally. 2 more business unit additionally. Let's say in Hyderabad, the client is having 2 business unit, SR Nagar, High-Tech City. So I created one SR Nagar business unit. Then how will you create a High-Tech City business unit here? It's active. And what about the location? Hyderabad, Bangalore, US, Los Angeles. So now each legal entity, one business unit is created, fine. But if you look at your requirement, means your business requirement, in Hyderabad, I would like to have 2 business units. One is SR Nagar and High-Tech City. SR Nagar business unit is already created. Now we would like to have 1 more business unit. Yes, here is the option, add row, and go for enter business unit code and business unit name. Active and country, India, and location. We can choose the location, business unit location, or if location is new, we can create and select. Yes. Yes. Manual creation you cannot find here. I'll explain you, then later you can ask. Okay, so what I've done now, I created Hitech City business unit manually. Then this Hitech City business unit comes under which legal entity? There are 3 legal entities, Hyderabad and Bangalore and US. But I just created business unit, but I have not linked legal entity option here. So whatever the business units you are creating manually, you cannot assign to the legal entity in this task. In this task, you cannot assign your business unit to the legal entity if you create manually. If you create manually, where we can assign it, there is a next step here. There is a next step when we are doing this enterprise structure manually. That time we will discuss how to assign business unit to the legal entity. So is it your doubt? Whatever, yes. So whatever the business units we created automatically for a particular legal entity, that comes linked with the legal entity. But whatever the business unit we have created, new one, that we don't find here, that you don't have the option to attach to the legal entity. Then where do you assign? Okay, Hitech City business unit we created, then it is associated with which legal entity? So that option we don't have right now. Later, I'll show you how to assign the business unit to the legal entity. How to assign the business unit to the legal entity. So this is create the business units, manage business units. Click next button. Manage reference data sets. Manage reference data sets. Okay. So where we are in the enterprise structure here. Enterprise, divisions, legal entities, business units are done. What is the next step? Reference data set. Reference data set. Now system is going to ask us, by default, every legal entity will have one reference data set. By default, every legal entity will have one reference data set, and one more is common reference data set. Common reference data set. Okay.
Hello.
So if you want to create a new reference data sets, we can create. Create. What is the difference between common reference data set and other reference data set? Very simple. Whatever the information is there in common reference data set, that information is available for all the business units. It means while creating one job, if you mention this job is related to common reference data set, definitely that job is available for all the business units. For example, there are 40 business units you have for your client. You have already created 40 business units. Now what client is telling, there is a job called clerk, there is a job called cashier, there is a job called manager. These 3 jobs I will find in every business unit. You have to create clerk 40 times. You have to create cashier 40 times. Every business unit you have to go there and create. Instead of creating like that, what you can do, you can mention while creating the clerk, this is associated with common reference data set. Definitely your job will be available for all the business unit. Okay. So some of the jobs are available only for a particular legal entity. Then you have to choose the new one, whatever the requirement is there, that we have to create. Okay. So it is one of the important question in the interviews. What is the difference between common reference data set and other reference data set? If we create any job or department or location or grade in common reference data set, that is available for all the business units. But if you create in another reference data set, that is available only for the business units which are associated with that particular business unit. Okay, fine. So this is the place where we will create a reference data set. You will find something called enterprise set. If the client is having multiple enterprises in the same instance, then this will be used. But as per Oracle instruction, one instance one instance, one enterprise. You cannot go for multiple enterprises. One instance and one enterprise. No chance that I can create multiple enterprises. Within the enterprise, you create divisions, you create legal entities, you create business units. There is no limit here, but the enterprise should be only one. So if you are going for any customizations, that time it will be used. But anyway, that's Oracle also. Just they have created for future purpose, not right now. Okay, fine. So common reference data set regularly will be using in our application. That's about the reference data set. After we create a reference data set, what is the next step you have to do? You have to associate your reference data set with the business unit. You have to assign your reference data set to the business unit. That's what we have to do. That is the next step. Manage business unit set assignment. In the interviews, they'll ask you what is set ID concept. Set ID, set assignment, reference data set, all are same. Set ID concept or set assignment or reference data set, all are similar. This is actually retrieved from the PeopleSoft ERP. Actually retrieved from the, yes, Rakesh, exactly, you are correct. If it is a common reference data set, we don't need to assign the business unit. Okay, automatically it will be available. When you create one job in the common reference data set, you don't need to assign this reference data set to the BU. That is the advantage of the common reference data set, because that information is shareable across the business units automatically. Across the business units automatically. So here we created reference data set. Now I am going to assign the reference data set to the business unit. Click next button. Click next button. You can see left side, all the business units. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to update the business unit. I'm not creating, because already business units are created. Okay. So these are the business units are available, and these are the reference data sets are available. Okay. So this we can go for assign. Like this, reference data sets will be assigned. There is something called override set assignment. We'll talk about this later, because you will get confused now. There is again in-depth of reference data set concept. That time you will be clear. Okay. Now what we have done is, once the business unit is created and once the reference data set is created, assign reference data set to the business unit. Assign reference data set to the business unit. Okay. Click next button. Next, manage location reference data set. Whatever the reference data set we have created, that can be assigned to the locations also. In this location, these jobs. But location wise, it's very difficult in the real time. We don't find this information. We don't find this requirement. But still, it's mandatory. It's mandatory task. We are supposed to assign the reference data set to the locations also. Okay. But actually, reference data set will be assigned to the business unit, not with the locations in the real time. So I'm just assigning this to the particular location, because generally in the real time requirement will be based on the business unit, means based on the branch. In SR Nagar branch, these departments I want, these jobs I want, these locations I want, but still it can be done at the location side also. So Oracle has given both the options. You can assign your reference data set to the business unit or to the locations, but generally it will be business units. Click next button. Now, whatever the enterprise we have created, that we can review it. Review is nothing but very simple. It is showing that you created this enterprise and this many divisions you created, this many legal entities you have created, and these are the business units you have created, and these are the reference data sets you have created. Review information we can find. And if I go to this tab, management reporting structure, same information graphically it will be showing here. Graphically it will shows, okay, so this is the division, and within that you have, this is your enterprise, GE Corporation, Ultimate Holding Company. Within that you have the GE US division and GE we have GE India division. And if I go for showing that here, legal entities I can find, right? Here also I can find legal entities, 2 legal entities in India and 1 legal entity in US. Yeah. So like this we can go for minimize. This is general. Whatever information we have here, text information, we can see graphically here. And once the entire enterprise structure is created successfully, we have to submit. Click submit button. Now your enterprise is successfully created, but not loaded. You have just created an enterprise structure. Loading is nothing but a validation. Whatever the legal entities, business units, reference data sets, locations you have created, system will validate all these organizations and try to load into the instance. Nothing but try to load into the database. Try to load into the database. Okay, fine. So here is a not loaded status. Here one very important thing we have to understand, that is one instance, only one enterprise can be loaded. One instance, only one enterprise can be loaded. Multiple enterprises cannot be loaded. If you try to load, for example, this is a GE Corporation, I'm trying to load, then it will show you error message. It will show you error message. Okay, because already one enterprise is created and loaded. Already one enterprise is created and loaded. Whatever the enterprise we have created, that cannot be loaded. That cannot be loaded. So this is just a draft what we have done right now. This is just draft what we have done right now. Then when we say we cannot load the enterprise, then why we have created is, in the real time, maybe you are the first person who is going to involve in the project. Then you must know how to create the enterprise structure. You must know how to configure the enterprise structure. That's why we have discussed how to create an enterprise structure. Otherwise, only one enterprise will be there, ESC, and that will be loaded. Not only for HCM, for finance, CRM, manufacturing, anybody, the enterprise structure is only one. Then within that you create number of divisions, you create number of legal entities, business units, inventories, sub-inventories, locations. It's up to the requirement. So here which enterprise is created? Something Mannai Corporation, somebody has created. And you want to know the result, review the result. It is showing that the divisions are 3 divisions, and in these countries, and these many business units, and this many reference, and some job structure also has created. Job structure will be discussing in the next step. Okay, and reporting structure also we can see. So one division and having multiple, one enterprise and multiple divisions, and within the divisions we'll see multiple legal entities under. There is a button here, download technical summary report. Once you define your enterprise, if you click the enterprise name, again it will ask you, do you want to go back to that? Otherwise not required. Just select this. If we click this enterprise name, what happened? It will ask you to modify the enterprise again. Now it's done. And go to review result. Go to review result. There is a button here, download technical summary report. This button will show you the technical information. Generally, for people who are from EBS background, they may be knowing about BR100, Business Requirement Document, that we used to prepare manually by using AIM Technologies, Application Implementation Methodology. Now you can see system has prepared automatically. The entire document is prepared by the system. What enterprises details, how many divisions, and what about the legal entities. The entire information is prepared by the system. So technical summary report also prepared by the system. Okay, here we can download that. Which documentation we'll be using for Fusion applications is very simple. OUM methodology. Earlier it was AIM methodology. AIM methodology. Sometimes in the interviews they'll ask us. So which documentation you are using? AIM methodology, nothing but application implementation methodology. That's we are following so far last 20 years. Now we are following OUM methodology, Oracle Unified Methodology. In Fusion applications, no question of AIM documents. AIM documents we used to have in EBS, Oracle applications, EBS, but in Fusion applications, we will use OEM. I'll show you that how it looks like the documentation. We'll discuss that later also. Okay. Fine. So this is about the enterprise structure, how to create, but we are not able to load our enterprise because only one enterprise can be loaded into one instance. Okay. So that's, if at all you want to load, very simple, this button will be enabled, we have to click. If you click this button, automatically your enterprise will be loaded and you will find your legal entities, your business units, your reference data set, whatever we have created. But right now you don't find. Right now we don't find because our enterprise is just created but not loaded into the database successfully.
Hello.
Okay, fine.
Hello.
How to find which enterprise is created successfully? Go to the task, manage enterprise HCM information. Manage enterprise HCM information. This. Now go to this task, very important question. In the interviews, they'll ask you, I want to know my enterprise name. How will you find? Which enterprise is loaded into this instance? I would like to know, how will you find? So go to the task, manage enterprise HCM information. Go to this task, manage enterprise HCM information. Here you can see someone has entered. This is KM Enterprise. That is the name of the enterprise and location, address. And this is what your enterprise name. This is what the name of the enterprise. Okay. Fine. So this is just a task name you can remember. Not required other things. This. So enterprise structure configurator. What is ESC? ESC is one of the tool or interview model which is used to create the enterprise structure. So what structures we have created? Divisions. Sorry, first we have created enterprise, then divisions, legal entities, business units, reference data sets. This is what we have done, right? This all. Departments, of course, it comes next level. But sometimes client says that different requirement, different business units, legal entities and all. They want to add additional legal entities or additional divisions later. That you have to do manually. Manually, you have to go for create your division, create your legal entities, create your business units, create your reference data set. This is. So Oracle has given this option just like a wizard. just like a wizard. Whatever today we have discussed is a wizard option. You have to just enter the data, click next button, finally it will be closed. But if you have a different requirement, definitely you have to do manually. Manually you have to create. That's what the next our task. Next 2 sessions will be talking about how to establish the enterprise structure manually. How to establish the enterprise structure manually. So this is one of the method to establish the enterprise automatically. The next method is manual. Now we are clear with automatic option, means wizard based option. Next 2-3 sessions we will be clear about the manual option also. So manual option once we learn, then we can do enterprise structure configuration for any client, any requirement. In wizard, what happened? Whatever options are given, you have to select and click next button. You cannot do the manual process. Manual requirement you cannot configure. Whatever Oracle has provided, that you have to go through and close it. But the same work we are going to do here. Okay. Fine. So any doubts here? What we have done in the enterprise structure today? Fine. Very good. I'll show you the documentation part. Generally, I'll prepare some documents and I'll share with you topic wise. But general PDFs, where do we find is very simple. You can search in Google, Oracle Fusion documentation. Okay. Oracle Fusion application documentation, not this one. Help center. Yes, exactly. Ours is related to the HCM, human capital management. In human capital management, we started first one as a global HR, right? Workforce deployment offering, and the future is global HR. Next we'll go for payroll. Next we'll go for absence management. That is different case. So here you can download your PDF. That is related for entire global HR module. But only for enterprise structure, means what we have discussed today. For this separate PDF is given by Oracle, because it's a huge concept. Maybe different examples you can find over here. Okay, so you can download this also and do it. I'm going to enter this URL in the chat window. You can go through it. In the chat window I have entered. Please copy into your system. Okay, fine. Credentials will be shared by Mr. Naresh. You have to talk with Naresh, then he will share with you through email. Okay, fine. So tomorrow we'll start the next option, job structure and position structure. Job structure and position structure we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay, so meanwhile you can just go through the enterprise structure and what is the process and the documentation also. So how to work with the documentation option, because job structure and position structure takes at least 30 minutes. Okay, so that will take up tomorrow. Okay. So this I'll be writing here the point of one by one, after global HR, then the payroll module, then other modules here. Okay. So any other doubts here? Yes.
Hello.
Okay. Fine. Thank you. We'll meet tomorrow again, 10:30 a.m. IST. Thank you.